In this video, I'm going to estimate purchases and cash disbursements using exercise 1333 as an example. So I want to read through here and understand what's their purchasing policy. And keep in mind, this company appears to be a merchandiser, just buying and reselling things versus a manufacturer where I'm trying to estimate production. They wish to purchase parts in 1 month for sale in the next. And I also read through part A says, I want you to estimate purchases for June and July. So if I'm estimating purchases for June and I'm following this pattern, I would expect that I would want to purchase in June what I expected to sell in July, which is 10,500 units. And you may have started there and said, that's it, that's all I have to do. But I also have to consider that's July, and it's nice. I'm trying to get ahead of the curve and adhere to the policy. But for June, do I have enough inventory currently to fulfill my June needs, or do I have extra inventory left over, meaning that's that much less I have to buy this month in order to fulfill July's needs? So I'm going to read through here, and it says on June 1st, the company has 12,000 parts in stock, although sales for June are estimated to total 12,900. Now you may say here, well, fire somebody. They should have had 12,900 if they were expecting to sell 12,900. But keep in mind, in May, your prior month, you're just guesstimating what you think is going to happen in June. Now we have hindsight. So I'm going to go through here, and very similar to what I did for production, my starting point is going to be budgeted sales. And keep in mind, I'm looking at June, and so I'm looking at budgeted sales for June. I understand you're going to go, well, what about this policy? We'll come back to it. Budgeted sales for June are 12,900. We also want to consider what's the ending inventory that we want to have on hand. Again, their policy is, hey, what I want to have on hand at the end of any month is to fulfill the sales for the next month. Sales next month are 10,500. So my ending inventory that I want to have on hand for June is 10,500. So I have enough to cover what I think I'm going to do in July. So total merchandise needs are 23,400. Yes, that's a lot of inventory. But keep in mind, you also already have a buffer of inventory. In fact, you have 12,000 parts already in stock. Subtract that from your total needs, and you only need to purchase 11,400 parts. Now, I did it somewhat the long route that I did, similar to what we did for production and also direct materials, just following the process. Sales, add in ending inventory, and subtract out beginning inventory. You might have been able to shortcut this and say, okay, based on the philosophy, I ultimately need 10,500, but I also have to consider, am I short or over for the previous month? I need 12,900. I only have 12,000. So in addition to the 10,500 that I need to have as a buffer of ending inventory, I also need to buy 900 more just to fulfill production for this month. So you may have shortcutted it that way. Also consider that I don't just want the number of units that I need to purchase, I want to translate this into dollars. So they mentioned that the wholesale price is $15. So take that 11,400 times $15 a piece, and I'm going to spend 171,000, or I'm going to buy $171,000 worth of inventory. Now you might have heard me catch myself. I'm not going to necessarily spend that amount. That's just the value that I want to purchase. And the reason why I caught myself is there's a financing arrangement whereby they pay 60% in the month they actually purchase the parts and 40% in the following month. So 60% of this 171,000 would get paid in June. The other 40% would get paid in July. So if I'm estimating cash required to be paid out in June, it's going to include two things: a portion of May, the month before, the 40% for May, and 60% of the June. Well, nowhere do they tell us how much we purchased in May. They do tell us, however, that we needed to purchase 15,000 parts in May times $15 each. So the total purchase cost was $225,000. Again, looking at what cash I actually have to spend in June, it's a split between the May and June purchases. Of that $225,000 May purchase, 60% was paid in cash in May. The other 40% is going to be paid in June, and that would be $90,000. Of the June purchases of 171,000, 60% is paid in June, and that would be 102,600. The other 40% we would move over as a payment in July. And so total cash payments in June are 192,600. Now, I'm going to leave you to solve July, but hopefully that gives you a head start of a pattern to follow.